Chapter 2. The Encounter at Dawn's Light. The first light of dawn touches the ancient stones of Rajagriha with fingers of gold and amber. You find yourself walking beside the merchant as he steps from his lodging house, his mind still heavy with the weight of sleepless hours. The night has brought no answers to his questions about loss, only deeper furrows of worry across his weathered brow. The morning air carries the scent of sandalwood from nearby temples, mingling with the earthy fragrance of dew-kissed lotus blossoms floating in temple ponds. Somewhere in the distance, the gentle chanting of monks begins their daily prayers, their voices weaving through the awakening city like threads of peace through fabric. As you move through the narrow streets alongside the merchant, notice how the world seems to hold its breath in these precious moments before full sunrise. The cobblestones beneath your feet are cool and smooth, worn by countless pilgrims who have walked these same paths seeking understanding. Street vendors are just beginning to arrange their offerings of marigolds and jasmine, their colors vivid against the soft morning light. The merchant's footsteps echo with urgency, even in this sacred hour. His hands clutch a small leather pouch containing the last of his trading coins, and you can feel the tension radiating from his shoulders like heat from sun-warmed stone. He has heard whispers that the Buddha walks these streets at dawn, and desperation has driven him to seek this legendary teacher. As you round a corner near the old stone well, the scene before you shifts into something almost ethereal. There, walking with unhurried grace along the path, is a figure wrapped in simple ochre robes. The Buddha moves with the fluid elegance of water flowing over stones, each step deliberate yet effortless. His presence seems to create a pocket of stillness in the gradually stirring world around him. You observe how the morning light seems to gather around this walking figure, not in any supernatural way, but in the manner that light naturally seeks surfaces that reflect it purely. The Buddha's face carries the serene expression of someone who has found what most people spend lifetimes searching for. His eyes, when they lift to acknowledge the approaching merchant, hold depths of compassion that seem to encompass all human suffering. The merchant stops abruptly, suddenly aware that his hurried pace feels inappropriate in this peaceful presence. You watch as his breathing slows, unconsciously matching the rhythm of the Buddha's measured steps. Without words being spoken, something in the very air seems to invite a different quality of attention. "Teacher," the merchant begins, his voice carrying the raw edge of someone who has exhausted all other options. "I have lost everything. My ships, my goods, my security. How can I protect myself from such losses in the future? How can I ensure this suffering never happens again?" The Buddha pauses, turning to face the merchant fully. In this moment, you witness something remarkable: the complete absence of judgment. The Buddha's gaze holds no surprise at being approached by a stranger, no impatience with the merchant's desperate questions, no condescension toward his attachment to material wealth. Instead, there is only a quality of presence that seems to say, "Your suffering is real, and it matters." "Friend," the Buddha speaks, his voice carrying the gentle authority of mountain streams. "You ask how to protect yourself from loss. Tell me, what is it you truly wish to protect?" The merchant's response comes quickly, tumbling out like water from an overturned vessel. "My livelihood, my family's security, my reputation in the trading guilds, everything I have worked for, everything that defines who I am." You notice how the Buddha listens not just to the words, but to the pain beneath them. His attention is complete, unhurried, as if this conversation is the most important thing in the world. Around you, the city continues its gentle awakening. Temple bells begin their soft morning song, and the fragrance of incense drifts from household shrines. But within this circle of dialogue, time seems to slow. I understand, the Buddha says, and somehow you know he truly does. You have built your life around these things, and now their absence feels like the absence of yourself. This is natural, this is human, and this is where our deepest learning begins. The merchant's eyes widened slightly, perhaps surprised by this compassionate response. He had expected either mystical pronouncements or harsh lectures about attachment. Instead, he finds understanding. In my years of seeking, the Buddha continues, I discovered that the very things we grasp most tightly often slip most easily through our fingers, not because the world is cruel, but because this grasping itself creates a kind of blindness. We become so focused on holding on to what we have that we cannot see what we are becoming. You observe how the Buddha's words seem to create space rather than pressure. Each phrase invites contemplation rather than demanding immediate agreement. The merchant's posture begins to soften, his shoulders releasing some of their rigid tension. But how do I live without trying to secure my future? The merchant asks, his voice now carrying genuine curiosity alongside his concern. How does one act in the world without attachment to outcomes? The Buddha smiles, and in that expression you glimpse something that encompasses both infinite tenderness and unshakable strength. This is the question that leads to liberation, friend. Not the quick answer that promises security, but the deeper inquiry that opens us to wisdom. The morning light has grown stronger now, painting the ancient walls in shades of rose and gold. The sounds of the city have grown fuller, children's laughter from courtyard gardens, the rhythmic thud of grain being ground, the melodic calls of merchants beginning their day. Yet within this circle of conversation, there remains a quality of sacred pause. Walk with me, the Buddha invites, and as the three of you begin to move along the stone path, you sense that something has shifted. The merchant's desperate urgency has transformed into receptive curiosity. The Buddha's presence has created a field of safety where real questions can be asked and genuine seeking can begin. As you walk, breathing in the sweet morning air and feeling the smooth stones beneath your feet, you realize you are witnessing the beginning of a profound teaching. The merchant's pain has become the doorway to wisdom, and the Buddha's compassion has created the conditions for transformation to unfold. What emerges when we stop running from our suffering and instead turn toward it with curiosity and courage?